Hello and welcome to my video on the in-depth on the Duel Mandalore 75310 in-depth. So I'll be going through a bunch of the details of the set. If you do enjoy this video, please subscribe because I'll be doing more of these for the rest of the summer sets and you wouldn't want to miss those. So the box art is really nice. It is the Clone Wars style, as you can see with the 332nd Trooper. I do like the way they've done different box art for different sets. The background is really good. It's the Mandalorian throne room, but like at a different angle. It's like a side-on angle, and it looks really good. The information on the side of the box is 7 plus 75310 Duel on Mandalore, 147 pieces. Comes with two minifigures being Ahsoka, Tano, and Darth Maul, and there are two main parts to the set being the throne and the vault. So moving on to the back of the box, you can see all the features, which I'll talk about a bit more. But you can see the throne kind of has the thing that falls back, a hidden blaster, and the vault opens up. So you can also see the angle, the image at the background is slightly different, but not much. I think it's actually different, slightly further along, but still. Nice that they actually changed it at least a bit. So you can see the price is £18, $20, or €20. And I'll talk about whether I think it's good value at the end of the video, but 147 pieces does seem a little bit slim, especially when there's a lot of elements that they could have printed and they decided to do stickers for. And so starting off with the two minifigures, there's Ahsoka Tano and Darth Maul. The Ahsoka Tano does come with two lightsabers and seems to be the exact same as the one from the AAT. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't use the exact same image, other than they do a shadow now, which I don't really like. I deem it unnecessary. But anyway, so these are the exact same. There's no differences I can tell, but they are good minifigures. So you have the face printing with the two eyes. Don't like the way they don't do actual eyes. They just do blue dots. Not sure why. And the torso printing is also really good. The headpiece is kind of my criticism, and you see the headdress as well. The headdress should be all the way bottom. At the bottom of her head part, you see the headpiece anyway, because it should be connected to that orange, but it's a bit up, and you can see the head tail should be much higher than they are. Should be halfway down, so you see where the silver line is, roughly there. But anyway, this is because this one was used on this minifigure and this minifigure. And also this shows, the printing on this minifigure goes all the way down to the bottom of that headdress. So it wasn't a problem with the printing. So I don't know why Lego didn't do that. Anyway, moving on to the Darth Maul minifigure. So this one comes with a red lightsaber and has the mechanical legs, which are in the chrome grey. And you can see them there, so they have the lighter grey highlights, and that does look really good. All the details are there. Then I really, really like the midriff section. So you've got the silver arrows and the gold, the different shades of grey. And it does make a really good area, and it's fairly accurate. And then you've got his torso printing and a couple of lines. You can see this minifigure, it's fairly similar. The legs are different and it also has the Crimson Dawn logo. Thing is, look at this, and the lightsaber is very wide. And Lego recently made a hilt that was longer, but they didn't use it, and that's a big criticism. I think that's something Lego should have done. I also think they put it in the wrong hand. I think his lightsaber goes in the other hand, at least in this scene anyway. So, onto the set itself. It's really good. I like the way they've done the steps and the way it ends there. I'll talk about that more. There's another image that kind of shows that better, and that's why I'll leave that for that. You can see the vault as well. So I'll start off with this scene, and you can see it here. They both were kind of in the background. Usually them are shown in this kind of scenes with the minifigures, other than for specific features, such as this. So the back wall falls backwards as it does in the scene, or actually smashes in the scene, but kind of the same idea. And there's the hinge pieces that fold backwards, and I think the way the hinge pieces have been done, it won't fall backwards without you pushing it, but it is light enough that if you tap it or if the minifigure hits it, it will fall back, and I think that's something Lego's done very smartly with. And also, yeah, there is room for the minifigure to fit over the back chair. And you've got the leaves, which I'll talk about more, so I'll kind of compare it to an actual thing, the actual throne. So, storage for a blaster. I wish they'd been able to fit the lightsaber. The lightsaber doesn't fit in that height of a gap, I don't think. I think that's why they didn't put that there. But it does nice, it's a blaster that comes with that, adds to the playability for a child, they can force open this and grab the blaster kind of idea. But I think that's something about the set, that there is a decent amount of playability. And then you can see here the vault being opened, and this is all stickered. So the window sticker is really accurate. I'll talk about that more whenever I compare it. And it is on a clear piece, so then you can see through to Darth Maul's face. It looks quite nice. And then you've got the panel on the side, but you can see here looking through to his face, it does have a really good look to it. But right, this is here, you can also see in this image more that the back orange piece also is a sticker, which is quite annoying. I wish they'd printed that, because it's clear pieces. Problem with clear pieces, if there's a bubble, it looks really bad, and that is something I think LEGO should do more print on those. But anyway, so you can see in this image it being taken apart, and it's you can see a bunch of the things. The throne does look to be mildly connected, but also looks like you could move it quite easily. So if you wanted to take it off, but I don't think you would, because look at the throne there. It doesn't include any of the floor. The floor has a really well visible pattern in the scene, but they didn't include any of that. Meaning there's less pieces, but it doesn't cut off at a random point. The kid can place it there, and that's your few steps up, and then it goes down to the ground. So the surface looks like the floor. It doesn't look like the surface is just another. It's just the surface. If they'd done the floor, it would have just it cut off quite badly, if you understand what I mean. And I think that's something LEGO has thought about, and you can see the kid dueling with it, and it does look pretty. It is a really good set for kids. Also, it does seem to be missing the section where you take out the blaster. These images, because the kids, I think the way they do these is whenever they do play testing in LEGO, and occasionally some of these images, you can see the brown piece in the background is askew. But you can see this image with the vault being opened and Darth Maul in it, and you can see the few lightsabers lying about, and you can definitely see that Ahsoka has two. And I think that may cause a bit of confusion, and I think that's something LEGO has made a mistake, because if somebody wants an Ahsoka minifigure and realizes, oh wait, does she not have two or not, they might buy a different set instead, and that's something LEGO should have maybe done a bit better. But you can see here the vault, detail wise, it is brilliant. The helmets are all accurate. The bit below it is perfectly accurate. There's slightly less detail, but had they done all the detail, it would look really bad. But the fact that they've put in the right amount, and then you can see the text on the top is actually, fairly accurate. That is done not to the perfect degree of accuracy, but it is a really, really nice sticker. Wish they'd printed it though. It would have looked so much nicer if they'd printed it. But you can see there, detail is excellent. There isn't a red background for Darth Maul, as you can see in this. But anyway, throne itself, so I do like it. So you can see in this image, there are more steps, but they're more spread out. So it's I suppose it's decent. They cut off it too. It should have been squared, not with the curve. Actually the 45-degree angle, but anyway. And you can see the back wall has a much more detail in this image, but LEGO has done a decent job to replicate it. And then the maple leaves, that's what I call them, but they're just orange 3-pointed leaves, are really good because they replicate the 5. They don't work perfectly, but they do have the lines separating them, because it should be 5 instead of 3. I can understand why LEGO didn't do that, but doesn't include any of the flooring. Wish they had. Could have been nice to include a bit of the back wall. For value, they could have done that, and that would have added a bunch of value. And the windows, could have been really nice. So value, I think if you don't own the minifigures, you should buy it. If you do own them, you don't get as much value. Do hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.